So y'all, this is such a good movie. Madea Goes to Jail. I'm gonna try to make this quick, but I watched this movie yesterday, and then I watched it a few days ago too. And Tyler Perry, especially his earlier movies, have such a powerful storytelling to them. It's particularly around spiritual lessons. And in this movie, the main characters, Derek Luke and Keisha Knight Pullum, are childhood friends who are essentially soulmates. And life ends up tearing them apart. They end up going in different directions because Keisha's character is essayed by, I think, some friends or roommates of Derek's character, and he didn't protect her. And so of course, the anger and betrayal that she felt because he didn't do anything about it, is what pulled them into separate parts of their lives. She ends up getting into spicy work, for those of you that understand what I'm saying. He ends up going off to be a lawyer. Life ends up bringing them back together. By this time, Keisha's character is really deep in her adversity and just different turmoil in her life. Again, she's working the streets. She's on drugs, right? It's just really bad. And Derek's character understands that part of what landed her there, or really what was responsible for, putting her there, is just the different traumas that she experienced in her life, including, but it's a cow baby, good job, Bunkin C, including, but not limited to childhood trauma from her stepfather, but also, like I said earlier, the trauma that she went through with, being essayed by his roommates. So long story short, when they come back together in this movie, it's a cow baby. Hold on, wait, let mommy make this video, okay? Okay, sweet boy. So when they come back together in this movie, Derek's character is in a relationship, right? And he's in a relationship with this woman who is like on her way to being like a prosecutor, or maybe she already is. I can't remember. Anywho, this woman sees the love and the care and just the spiritual contract, essentially, that exists between these two characters. No matter how different they appear to be, no matter how different their lives look, there is something spiritual that is sort of tethering them together, right? Long story short, she's so jealous that she puts false charges on Keisha's character that sends her away to jail for 17 years. And I want to stop here and say that this is the type of shit that karmic feminine energies do, right? They're so riddled in jealousy and they're so insecure that they don't know how to accept that, it's particularly when it comes to men, right? Because there are different type of karmic feminine energies, but particularly the ones who just need to have a man in their life. When they get fixated on a man, they feel like a man belongs to them for whatever reasons. They feel like they should have a man. And in this case, she felt like, because I'm a high affluent attorney, I'm more I have more notoriety. I'm light skinned. Come on now, let's call it out. She felt she was deserving of Derek's character, while Keisha was this spicy worker on drugs, darker skin complexion. She just felt like, why does she get to have you when I'm on paper the better person, right? I look better than her. I have more going for myself than her. And this is how karmic feminine energies tend to think, because they feel entitled. They've been taught their whole life, especially when they are good looking, because karmic feminine energies can be ugly as well, but especially when they are good looking, right? They're socialized to believe that they are entitled to anything that they want to have, even if the things that they want are not ordained, even if the things that they want are not in spiritual alignment with their destiny, right? And when they realize that something is actually not in alignment with what God has ordained for them, they're willing to do spell work, right? Which is what this is, right? I think that we have a high misconception of spell work. We think that spell work is sitting in front of candles or doing, some sort of form of root work or something on somebody. No, you can do spell work with just being manipulative, right? So pinning charges on Keisha's character, doing illusion and separation magic. She did that so that Derek's character and her character could be separated, because she knew that she couldn't compete. She knew that that was not the man that God intended for her, but she wanted him so bad, even at the expense of someone else, right? That's very evil. And so again, y'all, part of what and especially if any brothers are watching this video, part of what I want you all to pay attention to is be willing to look at what a woman is willing to do to keep you. Because, and I'm going to do a part 2 video on this about some of the misconceptions of the ride or die chick, right? I think a lot of black men are socialized to want a woman that's willing to go through great lengths to keep him. And I would argue that that is very problematic and dangerous. But it's important that you live in your truth as a man, because when you don't live in your truth as a man, you're going to attract women who also don't live in their truth. And they're going to be willing to lie, to deceive, to hurt, to harm, to even have you, right? They'll hurt you to have you. So again, y'all, if y'all haven't seen this movie, or if you just haven't watched it in a long time, please check out Tyler Perry's Madea Goes to Jail. This is such a powerful, powerful lesson about learning how to accept when God does not have something for you, and not getting in God's way, because God will expose you. God will humble you. There is nothing, when two people have a spiritual contract, you can go through great lengths. You can delay it. You can cause interference. But ultimately, there is nothing you can do to break destiny. You cannot break destiny. Okay? So, anywho, I hope you all have a good day.